Hi, I'm Jake from the Hot and Heavy Show, and I'm here today with Donovan from Hail the Sun. Thank you for your time today.
My
Um,
pleasure.
so I'll get into some just some nitty-gritty. So you guys have just done Warped Tour a little bit ago, and the SS Neverender as well. And your next shows are coming up in March, I believe, which is very exciting. How
Yeah.
how was Warped Tour and the Cruise Fest?
Cruise Fest was awesome. It's our third time doing a Coheed and Cambria cruise,
Yep.
the Never Ender. It was just such a good time. So many good friends, and the shows were great. And it's
Yep.
always nice seeing Coheed and getting to chill with all the bands there, Alice Dunes and Thursday and Fall of Troy. It was just a really a wet dream for post-hardcore and progressive rock music fans. Warped Tour was amazing, bigger, one of the biggest crowds we've ever had. Hadn't We didn't really know what to expect because we don't play a ton of festivals, and this one went off better than we could have hoped.
Yeah.
Um, and we're happy to be home for a little bit. We have one more show here at Chain Reaction in a week, and then we
Yep.
hit Europe and UK next March.
Very nice. That's very exciting. How's it felt so far getting some new material into your rotation and everything so far?
It's been great. It's nice to play the songs. They're a lot of fun to play. I remember when we released New Age Filth was one of the
Mhm.
first times, believe it or not, where I was like I could not wait to play newer stuff because I'm always a big fan of playing old stuff.
Mhm.
And it feels like that with
Yeah.
Cut Turn Faded Back. I just cannot wait to play these songs, and people have really latched onto them, and it feels really good.
Yeah, amazing. Do you have a favorite off the album?
I do. I like Relapse is a love affair.
Yes, I do love that song as well. It's a very good song.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very cool. A few standouts to me as well was Blight. I love that song. And Brightless Destiny also very, very cool. I love the just the vocal work, the guitar work, everything. I'm just like I find something new every time I listen to them. I'm just like, damn, that was awesome. So yeah, very, very cool.
That's great to hear. That's the plan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And are there any plans for labels and things you may not be able to tell me, but are there any plans for Australia maybe coming up in the next year or two, maybe? I know you guys were here not too long ago with Closure in Moscow, Full of Troy, but
Yeah,
it would be great to have you back for some new material if there's anything in the works.
there is. Yes, there are some plans in the works, and we look forward to coming to Australia sooner than we even thought.
Ooh, that's very cool to hear. Oh, I'm so keen
Yeah.
for that. I'll have
Yeah,
to
same.
I'll have to get into that. I'll have to be there. I'll get like a photo pass. I'll take some photos or something. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Yeah, please do.
Hell yeah. Yeah, amazing. Back to some songs and things. I wanted to
Sure.
sort of pick your brain a little bit in terms of songwriting and how you sort of approach it as a band, but also individually as well. What sort of do you guys all sort of get into a room together, or is it sort of online, or like how do you sort of find these ideas and bring them together?
It's hardly ever online. We all write stuff on our own, and then it doesn't become a fully uh, fleshed out Hail the Sun song until we are in a room together or until we've all touched it. At that point, everyone had like there's many filters in our band, and we're all songwriters. There's not just one. Now we can deliver full songs. I'll deliver full songs. Shane will, Eric will,
Yep.
but it goes through levels of like a filtering, if you will, as I mentioned before, where it doesn't fully feel like it's us until we've all helped shape it or rework it if it so calls for that. And then the vocals and the lyrics usually come last.
Yep. Very nice, very nice. I also had a question about the vocals as well. So I have a little story with it too. So way back in my uni days, I one of my friends introduced me to you guys, and he showed me from Elephantitis. He showed me Our Spliteo. I like it though, and that song. And I was listening to it. He's a drummer, I'm a guitarist, and I was like, dude, we have to play this song. And so I was piecing it together by ear, going like, how did they even come up with this? And like your vocals with the guitars. I'm like, how do you come up with this? But also, how do you make it work? Like the guitars, like how do you make it not clash? How do those ideas like happen? But so it's sort of like guitars first and then vocals added over? Is that sort of the vibe?
Yes, I would say guitar parts usually come first, and then I'll figure out a vocal line over it, regardless of where the guitar line goes or what it's doing. I partake in a lot of bass writing as well because I like to be able to guide where the melody or the chord progression is going to go, especially over lead guitars. It's easier for me to find melodies and figure out the uh, the ones that work the best when there's a chord progression that I can help guide.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love that. And just yeah, it's so cool the way like you guys guide the songs in terms of, yeah, as I said, the guitars, those melodies and vocal melodies. No, it's really, really cool. Yeah. Um,
Awesome, thank you.
yeah, no, that's cool. I want to touch on as well, with songs like Relapse is a Love Affair, that you mentioned before as well. Um, how did that sort of song like come to be in that sense? Was that a song from you that you brought in, or was the instrumental there, or like sort of run me through, I guess, the process of that song as well?
Sure, Shane actually wrote the music for that one, and he showed it to all of us when we were in pre-production. It really resonated. I immediately heard a vocal line, a vocal melody. So we learned it very quickly. We scratched it out. And I was just scratching out different ideas melodically, and the lyrics for the chorus sort of wrote themselves. And I realized that this could be. I took the opportunity to sing about a relapse that I had gone through that I hadn't yet spoken publicly about. It just really felt like it called for that. It flowed out of me very very fluidly. It took a few different sessions of my on my own of writing the lyrics for it, but it came together in the perfect way, or in a way that I really wanted um, to commit it to paper, and that was that.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that, like, yeah, you heard that instrumental and just went, this is it. Like, this
Yeah,
is something cool. I love those
absolutely.
collaborations.
Same. It found itself really.
Yeah, and I love that you guys still like you are in a room together with the songs as well, and like you sort of bring those
Absolutely.
ideas. Like it's that authenticity I think is really important as a band.
We do the computer writing, we do the drum programming, we do all that stuff, and then but before we actually go and record an album, we have to be we have to jam it. We went to Sacramento, we locked out a studio for about 7 days. We relearned everything, and we just played it. We played it live, and if the tempo felt a little fast, we slowed it down. If it felt slow, we sped it up. If the vocal melodies that I had felt a little out of range, we changed or we transposed them. We still have Hail the Sun is built in is rooted in musicianship, and we're very we take a lot of pride in that.
Definitely. And like that's something I think you can like, yeah, that you can hear just yeah, in each record and everything, just how like I guess like passionate you guys are about it, but like also yeah, like keeping that authenticity and keeping it real, which I think is amazing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it feels the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I wanted to also touch on a little bit in terms of inspiration for the album lyrically for some other songs as well. There's been a lot of the state of the world, and I think inspiring a lot of artists to sort of speak about it as, in terms of songs like The Drooling Class or War Crimes as well. Can you tell me a little bit about those songs and I guess yeah, how they came to be?
Sure. The Drooling Class is a song really about the confidence of our band and about how we want something so bad. We've never envisioned anything outside of what we have and what we want. And nobody wants it the same, is basically it comes from a place of just strong vision and I guess yeah, confidence. War Crimes is about how when we are busy fighting each other, when we're told we have to pick a side, left or right. And this is nothing new, and this is nothing we haven't sung about in the past. We've always been vocal about these types of things. We grew up listening to punk music, and like we're rooted in that type of ethos. But when we're told that we have to pick sides and we argue amongst ourselves, it allows for the stage of atrocity to continue to thrive. It allows for billionaires at the top and oligarchs to do whatever the fuck they want while we're busy fighting amongst ourselves. And really, we are so much more powerful together. If we could bring the people that rule us to their knees, if we just realize we want the same thing, we're fighting for the same thing. And I use the current genocide happening in Palestine as just one example of many. There are many examples, but that is a current thing, and I know it's not the only thing happening. Um, this is what I feel like is wrong with a lot of the we're taught to fight amongst ourselves because you have right eating right, left eating left, people getting up in arms about, well, why are you speaking about that, but not this? Does it fucking matter? There, yes, I can acknowledge there's things happening all over the place. We know this. This is one thing that we're going to put a spotlight on, but the song isn't just about the current genocide there. It's about what I had mentioned previously. Those things can exist when we're told to fight amongst ourselves over bullshit. We are told that that is a conservative or a liberal issue. That is atrocious to think that murdering innocent people overseas with our tax dollars is a left or right issue. It's not, but it's a very powerful tool, the tool of diversity, and not in a good way. I guess divisiveness actually is what I mean. It's a very powerful tool, and those who know how to use it can keep us distracted for as long as they possibly can in order to benefit mostly financially. And there's a greed aspect to all of that as well. But that is what war crimes is about. And Rightless Destiny, it touches on that as well.
Definitely. I love how like sorry, I just love how passionate you are about that as well. That's so yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with like everything that you said, like in terms of just not not getting distracted from those bigger issues and not letting that divisiveness of like, oh, it's a this or it's a that or whatever label it is on it, like distract from the actual issue of people and community and all of those things that are like truly actually important. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love that. And yeah, I love like you mentioned as well. You like we grew up listening to punk, and it's like yeah, absolutely. Like people like the first to say, "Oh, this band's gone woke" or whatever. It's like, were you listening to a lot of those songs? Because like,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, what sort of I guess influences punk or however else did you sort of have going into this record, but just in general?
In general, I grew up listening to No Effects. They're my favorite band, and I know they're more of a mainstream punk band, but I loved what they stood for, and I just love their music. Their chord progressions were incredible. Their songwriting left a big impression on me. I loved The Offspring. I loved Minor Threat. One of my favorite punk bands is this very unknown band, but they're huge. I feel like in the really diehard British punk world, and they're called Rudimentary Peni. My brother
Right.
got me into them. Incredible band, just so good, so weird. They made me feel just they're a very odd band, but they're fucking great. Um God, I can't think of there's like Crass. He's
Mm.
is another like very underground crust punk. Like my brother got me into a lot of these old crust punk when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and then I discovered No Effects and The Offspring and Minor Threat and all these bands that I liked the fastness about it. I liked the fierceness behind the music, but I also liked the message, and I liked the idea of questioning authority and not just doing what you're told. And I like the idea of I consider of like I saw them as patriots. Speaking out against what you think is wrong does not make you unpatriotic. In fact, I think our country at least was founded on dissent, and it's meant we escaped the English rule to do our own thing. We were taught to speak up. I think it's one of the most patriotic things you can do, and I just absolutely fucking hate the narrative they spin today about speaking out or not going with what your government says makes you unpatriotic or a traitor. That it's just insane rhetoric.
Absolutely. Yeah, like
That's why I like punk music.
absolutely. No, I love it for like the same reasons you mentioned, just like that passion of like this is an important issue, like whether it's like wrong, right, like whatever you're being told, it's just like this is what's important. This is what actually matters. And yeah, like there's so many great bands and songs that have come from that, and so many important issues, and it's just yeah, no, I love it. I love punk. I love this. This is yeah.
Hell
um,
yeah.
Hell yeah. And yeah, I won't keep you too much longer. I'll sort of touch on a few other things before time wraps up. But I want to sort of talk about you mentioned before about newer and older songs and how you prefer to play the older stuff sometimes as well. Are there any songs from your older lineups that you'd want to bring back into your rotation, or songs that you're like, we probably can't play this live or shouldn't, but I really would want to, like any songs like that?
It seems like there's songs off Pow Right and the Kisser that are going to start getting more attention because for whatever reason, that has just gained way more traction than we ever thought it would. I mean that's our 2010 album, and it's like our debut, and half of it was written before Shane and John were even in the band, although they did record their parts well because it was finished while they joined the band or while we were starting to play with them. It seems like those songs might start making rotation in there. I don't know why or how, but a lot of young people, people who were maybe 2 years old when the album came out, really fuck with that album.
Absolutely. I yeah, as I said, I listened to like, Elephantitis and everything first and then sort of got introduced to like newer stuff later. But yeah, I'm glad to see that those albums are getting the attention that they deserve as well now as well, the spotlight.
Hell yeah.
No, it's very cool. And
Thank you.
I had one more and it's disappeared, so I'm gonna improv it. But is there any in particular an artist that helped, or like an artist or a song, or even just a vibe or anything that helped inspire this album, in terms like musically and things like that? Is there anything you were listening to that you were just like, I want more of that, or anything like that?
I can't say that there is. I think it's been a culmination. I know we wanted to try something different, and it's why we went with Beach Noise as our producers and Zakk Cervini as the mixing engineer. There was a lot of discussion there. We went with what felt right, and the Beach Noise thing came about as we started to write. I was just doing songwriting sessions with them, and it felt so good, and it was a really fun flow. And we've worked with Chris Crummett for the last two records, and he's fucking amazing too. He's an incredible. Um, he's he's an absolute expert at what he does. Um, and Hail the Sun has hardly ever gone to the same person twice, let alone three times. We've never gone to the same person three times. And while we was doing the songwriting sessions, we kind of decided let's just switch things up. Let's stay here and let's go for a completely maybe more of a modern sound, a modern bigger sound, but with the same type of what I would say artistic art rock songs that we write. Um, and let's see how that works. And it was perfect because we went to college with Johnny, who was one of the Beach Noise producers, and he went on to do incredible things. He's still doing great things. He worked on the Kendrick album and Baby Keem, and
Damn.
we just went to school together and did pop punk bands together, and he was our merchandise seller in 2013 on some of our tours back then. 2014 did a short run with us. So him and his partner Pete were starting these songwriting sessions, and it just felt really good. So we thought, why don't we continue this in the actual like a more professional setting and actually do an album together? And then we talked about Zervini being the mixing engineer to bring all this different type of production to a massive sound. Like some of the, I guess I would just say like a big modern rock sound. I'm really happy with that product. But I don't think there was a song or a band necessarily that inspired that change. I think it was just the culture in general and our internal need to grow and change and try something new.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, you're not sticking to just one thing and going, oh yeah, this worked once, we'll just keep it running the whole time. It's like constantly evolving and changing that, and like,
Totally.
yeah, I love that mindset.
Eh, That is nothing to say also about Crummett. He is an absolute, and he is um, he's one of a kind, and he's an incredible producer, engineer, and mixer. We just were decided to try something different. That was it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that, and it's yeah, no, that's really good. Um, yeah, well, thank you for your time today. I won't keep you too much longer. I think we're a bit over, but
Thanks, Jake.
thank you for your time, Donovan. This has been very wonderful to speak to you.
Likewise, thank you very much. I'll see you in Australia.